Hey nerds! Today we're going to talk about Sabriel by Garth Nix. Let's get some nerd how. Okay, so Sabriel has got to be in my top 10 favorite books of all time. I may have started this channel specifically to talk about this book. So I'm going to try and pitch this to you as best as I can, but Sabriel has like some of the best world and character building that I've ever read, and it's kind of crazy and all-encompassing. But basically what you need to know is that Sabriel is the daughter of Abhorsen, and Abhorsen is a necromancer. And basically, necromancers in this world are super evil, and they raise people from the dead, and they bend spirits to their will, and they walk in death and do crazy things, except for Abhorsen. Abhorsen is the only necromancer whose job it is to go around and stop these evil necromancers from raising the dead, and his job is to put the dead back to rest. So one day Sabriel is at school and she gets a message from her father that he is trapped in death, and he gives her his tools, like the tools that he uses to control the dead, and his magic sword, and he's like, here, like, I'm screwed. These are yours now. It's your job to be Abhorsen. I love you. Goodbye. And she's like, what? So she has to travel back home, where she hasn't been for a really long time, and find her father and hopefully free him from death. Some things that I really love about it are that there is like a really beautifully written female lead character. Now we kind of live in this era of like kick-ass women who live in dystopian worlds, who like take on the universe to, you know, free everybody and be good people and blah. And I don't want to take away any credit from books like Hunger Games or Divergent or really anything like that, you know, people out there might admire. But I have to say that Sabriel is a female character who makes actual sense. Like, she's not a female character just to be a female character and be feminist and, you know, like, stick it to the man and show that women can do it. She's the main character of a book, and she just happens to be a girl. She is written so authentically and so well that her gender never even really matters, because it's not about the fact that she's a woman doing a man's job. It's about the fact that she's a child trying to save her father. Another thing about this that is just so incredible and so amazing is the magic system that Garth Nix has built around necromancy and death. So there are actually 3 magic systems that take place in this book all simultaneously. It is necromancy, so bringing the dead back to life, right? And then something called free magic, which is like this uncontrollable wild force that can be really positive, but mostly it's super negative. And then the last is something called the charter, which is sort of like order and control, and it binds free magic and it mixed with necromancy. That's how Abhorsen puts like the dead to rest and becomes like super powerful, because usually necromancers just use free magic, but Abhorsen uses both free magic and the charter together. And that might sound really confusing, but it's so well built and well explained and like well plotted out, like how you're introduced to the system like as the story progresses, that you don't even realize you've learned this crazy magic system, and then they're doing all this crazy stuff like building paper wings that can like fly on like currents that you whistle with charter magic, and it's just really cool. It's just super cool. Another thing that I really like about this book is the characters. It's not an overly huge cast. There's about 4 main characters: Sabriel, Abhorsen, a talking cat named Mogget, and a boy named Touchstone. And I have to say that they're all written so authentically, so differently, so realistically, that they really capture you. And the way that like they're interacting with each other is just so... it's just so natural and good and like well written. And like sometimes, like, I think somebody who wanted to rag on this book could say that it gets a little slow. It doesn't. It just has the best character beats that I've ever seen. Really, really good stuff. So this book is also an audiobook, and it's read by Tim Curry. That's right, it's read by Tim Curry, and I have to say that he nails it. He is so like creepy and dark and like mystic, and he does all these crazy voices, and he was the perfect person to read this book. It is one of my favorite audiobooks of all time. I've listened to it over and over again, and if you're an audiobook person and you're looking for something else to pick up, this is it. It is so, so, so good. But guys, really do yourself a favor and pick up Sabriel. It is so great, and I never hear people talking about it. Anyway, yeah, that's all I really have to say. If you've read Sabriel and have an opinion you'd like to share, please comment down below. Also, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe if you so choose. And as always, stay nerdy.